The story begins in the quiet, almost sleepy town of Evergreen Hills. At first glance, the place seemed idyllic, but behind the decorous facade lurked a dark secret that went unnoticed for years. At the center of this mystery was a man known only as Mr. Laughs, a clown who became a symbol of pure terror. Mr. Laughs was no ordinary clown. He didn't entertain children at birthday parties or perform tricks at the circus. Instead, he only showed up on weekends, terrorizing the residents of Evergreen Hills and leaving a trail of unexplained tragedies in his wake. His first recorded appearance was about 20 years ago, when he first showed up at the annual town fair. At first, he was thought to be a good-natured prankster, but soon his jokes turned dark and his eyes took on a sinister glint. By the end of the fair, 2 children had gone missing, their disappearances attributed to accidents. Over the next few years, Mr. Laughs became a legend, a nightmarish joke shared only in whispers. His actions became more brazen, his presence always a precursor to trouble. On weekends, families would wake up to find terrifying gifts on their doorsteps: bloody toys, scraps of brightly colored fabric, and business cards with Mr. Laughs' smiling face written in blood. Detective Alan Reed, who grew up in Evergreen Hills, knew the legend of Mr. Laughs all too well. He remembered the paralyzing fear that gripped the town every weekend, the panic that caused people to board up their doors and keep their children indoors. Alan had always written it off as an urban legend, a tale told to scare unruly children. But that all changed when he joined the police force. The disappearances continued, and they began to be linked to a creepy clown. Over the years, Alan witnessed the effects of Mr. Laughs' cruelty: broken families, shattered lives, and a city living in a state of constant fear. He became obsessed with stopping the clown, putting an end to his reign of terror. But Mr. Laughs was as elusive as a ghost, always one step ahead of the law. Despite this, Alan built up an extensive archive on Mr. Laughs. He sifted through old newspapers, police reports, and interviews with residents, piecing together a picture of the nightmare that haunted Evergreen Hills. He learned that Mr. Laughs always chose his victims for a specific reason: their dark secrets, repressed sins, or unspoken evil. The clown was a twisted executioner of sorts, punishing those he believed deserved it. On a fateful Friday, Alan received an anonymous letter revealing Mr. Laughs' whereabouts. The letter was typewritten, with a business card with a smiling clown's face written in blood. Alan felt a chill in his stomach. This was the opportunity he had been waiting for. On Saturday, Alan and a small group of trusted officers set out for the coordinates given in the letter. It was an old, abandoned circus on the outskirts of town, a place steeped in memories of laughter and joy, now tainted by an atmosphere of oppression and fear. As they entered the circus, they were greeted by a deathly silence. The air was thick with the smell of mold and decay. The main tent, once full of bright colors and excited spectators, was now a husk, its canvas torn and its masts cracked. It was like entering someone's nightmare. Alan and his team inched forward, pistols drawn, their footsteps echoing in the eerie silence. Suddenly, a muffled laugh came from far away, a laugh that Alan had heard countless times in his nightmares, the laugh of Mr. Laughter. They ran towards the sound, leading them to the backstage area. The rooms were in a terrible state, littered with costumes, props, and other things that had once been used to entertain the audience. But now the objects served a more sinister purpose. In one of the rooms, they found something horrific. It was a scene of violence like something out of a sick movie. The walls were splattered with blood, torture instruments were scattered,